name's Hylon Kaufmann and I live in Clovis, California. I first found Tyson Energy at the Fresno Home Show. I was looking for some enhancements for my home, which I had purchased. I was about a year in. And one of the first things I knew, I needed insulation. And what we realized was the insulation had never been added onto or anything. So I was basically dealing with 30-year-old insulation that had compacted in that. So Chris came in and did the type of insulation that's blown in, and with the Spanish style roofs and that there are gaps towards the edge in some areas from the construction, and they helped seal those up and blew the insulation in. And just that winter I noticed a significant difference in my heating bill and how often my system was having to come on. So I knew that had been a great decision. Going into that next summer was when I realized that there were still some issues and I needed to do something different or add on to what had been done. And Chris had installed the variable rate attic fan, and I can hear that come on in the summertime long before my AC comes on to start moving that hot air out and helping improve the efficiency of my AC and how often my air conditioning comes on. So at the spring home show, I had talked to Chris again and looked at the quiet cool system. And it was in the summer that I called him and I said, okay, I've got to do something to help cool this house off and take advantage of the evenings here in the high desert of the San Joaquin Valley, which is absolutely perfect for a home house fan. I grew up with a swamp cooler here in the valley, and in the evenings, that's when the swamp coolers did their magic. And so a whole house fan is the swamp cooler without all the moisture and the issues. It gives us the same style. So that immediately, I put it in kind of in the middle of the summer and immediately noticed a difference. About 10 o'clock at night when it cools off, I was able to open up a couple of windows, just a gap, not a full open, and turn that fan on, and you can just feel the hot air getting sucked out of the house. And I set it for about 2 hours on the timer, and so it goes off about midnight, and I wake up to a house that's cool and comfortable even when we have extremely hot weather. And as a result, my PG&E bill, I do have 12 panels on the top of my roof, solar, and I have been in the negative, and not designed to be net neutral, but it gives me the ability to not have to run my AC in that well into the end of May. And then as soon as we're into late August, September, when it begins to cool on, I don't even turn my AC on. Between the insulation and cooling the house down in the evenings and having that benefit throughout the day. So it is a significant cost savings and paid for itself, I think, in that first summer. So I've been dealing with him and his team. I've recommended him to many, many friends, and including family that have also had the quiet cool system installed, and had Chris and his team come out and do insulation, and I highly recommend them. They're consistent. Chris always answers the phone, and his team, and I have not had any issues at all with the whole house fan. And now, as I'm going into about my 4th summer with the whole house fan, it has already this summer, I did not turn my air conditioning on until about 2 weeks ago, and we're into the middle of June at this point. So end of May was the first time that I had to turn my AC on by just using the quiet cool in the evenings. So if you're looking for a whole house fan or insulation, or just want to have a consultation to know what could help you, I highly recommend calling Tyson.